I can hear you and see you clearly.
Oh, great. So let me introduce myself. My name is Samid. I am from Pakistan, but I live in Russia.
Where?
Russia,
Indonesia?
Russia,
Russia. Russia.
yes.
Oh, I
And
see.
I like to cook. I like to keep my room clean. I'm minimalistic kind of organized person. I like less things. I like empty spaces. And
Empty spaces.
yes, empty spaces means that the room should have only just a bed. That's it. There is no need for anything else.
Oh, you're minimalist.
Yeah, minimalist kind. So
I see.
I'm a visual artist, I'm a photographer and a filmmaker. After this lesson, you may open this website and look at my works.
Mhm. Okay. So, do you work as a photographer or as an artist or what in Russia?
Both. I do photo shoots as well, and I also apply to exhibitions whenever I get a chance.
I see. So, and which part of Russia do you live?
St.
Are you?
Petersburg.
Oh, St. Petersburg. I've been there once before,
Wow, amazing.
a long time ago when it was still Leningrad.
Yeah, okay.
My name is Ariko. I am Japanese. I live in Tokyo, Japan, and my work as a work, I work in an advertising agency, and my client is a car company, a German company at the moment, and um, I, in my free time, I love dogs, and I have one here right next to me here,
Wow.
and he's a small Dachshund,
Uh-huh.
um, and I have another one too, and 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 so in my free time, I take care of dogs,
Uh-huh.
and also also I used to live abroad throughout my childhood, and my dad was a diplomat, so I was taken all over the whole world throughout my childhood. And one of the countries were um, like United States
Uh-huh.
and Germany,
Uh-huh.
and then Sri Lanka,
Uh-huh.
Argentina,
Wow.
and lastly, Sweden. In Sweden, I was already in the university, so I was living in Japan, but I visited Sweden several times. And that was a time when I went to visit St. Petersburg when it was still Leningrad.
Uh-huh.
And it was in the 1980 something, say 86, 87, or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And it was during Cold War, and so my dad was actually working um, as a diplomat to get information of Russian Soviet Union at that time,
Uh-huh.
and to kind of watch the Cold War,
Yeah.
and well, that was Sweden was a best place to do that because it was in the Scandinavian country, quite neutral and very close to Soviet Union, right?
That's true.
And that's how my dad became very friendly with the ambassador of Soviet Union there, and I also was a friend of his daughter, and so we became like family friends,
Uh-huh.
and they allow us to give to kindly allowed us to visit Soviet Union. It was very strict those days. It wasn't easy to visit Soviet Union just like that.
Uh-huh.
But I think they gave us some visa, or I don't know if diplomats do not probably need visa, but
Yeah.
I think somehow anyway we came to visit have an opportunity to visit Soviet Union,
Uh-huh.
and that was very interesting experience that I had.
Uh-huh.
But today I would like to ask, how is it to live in St. But today, is it? It just is it in terms of everyday life? Is there anything that you cannot achieve, or is there any difficulty? Oh wow, cold. Oh yes, of course it is cold. It is cold, of course.
Yeah.
Ah, so you have you like in those days? I was always quite aware that people were watching us, all the time, and even there was this embassy staff,
Mm-hmm.
Russian, was Russian, who speaks very fluent in Japanese, was was completely attached with us. So while we were there, he was well attending us, of course, but I think he was also watching that we would not do anything wrong.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know, rules and discipline, or I don't know, or talk to people, or do something kind of yeah. Well, uh, well, in polite, or I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so was is it today? It's different, I suppose.
Well,
Is it?
nothing is affected by the war.
No. No, no, no. Oh yes, oh yes, yes. Nothing is affected by the war. I mean, yes, also because you have Ukrainian war,
Yeah.
that is still continuously continuing
Yeah, from groceries to transportation, everything is working as usual.
as usual.
Hmm.
As before war, during war, no change.
No change. I've been living here for 2 years.
Oh, so that's before having the start of Ukrainian war. Was it before?
No, not before. When the war was happening, I came.
Oh, oh, I see. But you were okay. You were allowed to come in, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it was
Some countries
nothing.
were allowed, but some countries were not allowed. But the
Uh,
Pakistan was allowed. Yeah.
mhm. So before staying, I mean, living in Russia, were you in Pakistan all the time?
No, I've been to America. I did not finish it, but I studied MFA in
Uh-huh.
photography, video, and related media from School of Visual Arts, SVA, New York.
Uh-huh. Wow, wow. That's awesome. That's great.
So after that,
Mm.
I started teaching in Pakistan, and after teaching, I went to Dubai, and then after Dubai, I
Dubai.
came back to Pakistan, and then I decided to apply for a Russian government scholarship. Then I got the scholarship here, and now I'm studying arts and culture management.
I see scholarship and wow,
Hmm.
that's great. That's a great
Yeah,
how do you say the CV.
yeah, CV.
As a CV
Yeah.
curriculum, but yeah, I think that's great.
But I
That's
always wanted to work in an advertising agency. I have never had a chance to work with.
we have a photographer team in our
Mm-hmm.
company. Within our company, we have many photographers,
Nice.
and there we even have a studio, three, four studios, small ones,
Mm-hmm.
and one big one away for a little bit away from our main
Mm-hmm.
office. We can even shoot cars
Do you have
in
a
this.
website for the agency, your workplace?
Oh, Hakuhodo products, our company, but I don't think we're not really. Um,
Active on social media?
uh, we're not really. I would say international.
Uh-huh.
It's our company,
Cool.
Hakuhodo products.
So, do you have family?
Yes, I have a daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm divorced, so I don't have live with my husband anymore. But
Mm-hmm.
I have a daughter, and she lives quite neighbor. She lives like four doors away,
Hmm.
um, from in the same flat,
Mm-hmm.
and, mhm, and my mother passed away last year.
Okay.
And yes, and my father passed away a long time ago already. The diplomat father passed away in the 1990s. So that's a long time. And my mother just lived alone for like 33 years, I think, after my father's death. But last year in March, she was living with us. I mean, she was living actually in this house. And I moved to my mother's house, and my daughter moved into my house. It's in my ex house. So we are now neighbors. And I used to be living together quite close with my mother. Um,
And
yes. So
your daughter see your father? I mean, see her father?
her father, yes, I think so. Yes. Yeah. Well, she used to live with my ex-husband
Yeah.
for like until she was grown up. She. So what is that?
This is your website. I think these are the employees or something.
Really? Maybe. I suppose so. That
Well,
doesn't. But it's not really international as that. It's not supposed to.
well, it says our people.
Oh, really?
Hakuhodoglobal.com.
Hakuhodo is our parent company.
Parent company.
You see, they are we are Hakuhodo Products is a subsidiary company and we mainly do the production. You see, so we have commercial team, we have we have editorial team, and we have also well, I'm in customer relation team, but we also have like um, premium digital production team, and yeah,
And
and also photography team. So that's what I
and
wanted
there
to
is
say.
another website. They are selling makeup items. Maybe this word Haku Hodo is very famous because this is Haku Hodo USA. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Some,
Hakuhodo is a pretty big company in Japan. I think it's one of the biggest. I mean, second biggest in Japan as a agency, advertising agency. The biggest is Dentsu, of course. But yeah,
and what do you know about Pakistan?
Pakistan. Actually, I've only lived in Sri Lanka, right? And but I had a friend from Pakistan, and I think my I think in Sri Lanka, my dad was a very close friend of a Pakistan ambassador, and I was also a friend of uh, his daughter Chandra. But they were from actually they were ambassador of Pakistan, but I think they were from what was the um, quite different up in the north, up in the mountain. What's
There are many
um,
places like Hunza, Kalam, Naran, Murray. There are many places.
mhm,
The famous is
mhm,
Hunza um, up in the north. Maybe Islamabad. This is the capital, Islamabad city.
mhm. I don't remember. I don't remember, but I think she was. I think the ambassador was a prince or
Okay.
something of Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
Nepal.
Nepal.
Could
Okay.
that could that be okay? Could that happen?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
I mean, practically because I don't remember. It's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad used to say that this Mr. So I forgot the
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
His father was a Pakistan ambassador, and he was also a doctor,
Uh huh.
and he was a professor,
Uh huh.
and he was also a very noble person, and he was even the prince of Nepal.
Uh,
So Chandra is a princess of Nepal, and and she was like already 25 or something when I was like 15 or something like that, right? So
okay. Mm.
I used to be very, I used to kind of like her a lot as a elder sister, like like I used to admire her a lot,
Yeah.
respect her, and she was a beautiful girl too. So that's
So I'm
Mhm.
sharing this video with you. It's travel vlogger named Drew Binsky. He have been to all the countries in the world, and he made a video on Pakistan hospitality, you can say. So you can learn about
Mm.
something about
Yes, I
Pakistan
should be
in
good.
three
Yeah,
minutes.
thank you. Yes, thank you. After this lesson, I think I'd
Yeah.
have a look. Thank you. Yes,
So,
interesting. Very interesting.
so what time you go to work and what time you come back to work? House?
Um, I usually go to work. Like tomorrow, I think I'll have to be at the office by 9:30, more or less, and I leave there at like 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. So it's not now. I don't work so much, not
Mm,
anymore, and I work from home even,
mm,
like 2, 3 times a week
mm-hmm,
because I'm 2 years, right? I'm pretty in the elderly.
mm-hmm,
I'm old,
mm-hmm,
so I'm in the elderly team.
mm-hmm.
So nobody really tells me to stay and work hard or anything. So
Senior
um,
management. Yeah.
finally, I'm in this very peaceful position. Also after Corona, we have changed the way of working in a, I would say, in a very good way. We have progressed. But some people still wants to, that Japanese people are really hardworking
So
and
much. Yeah.
very, very, um, I don't know. I wouldn't say, just they just want to show that they're working, they just want to show off, I think. They
Okay.
pretend working. I mean, they think that if they're staying in the office, that means they're working, but it doesn't mean that not just staying in the office is just they can just even watch website or anything. So I think it is a very efficient way to um, probably measure work through the time you are working, time you are in the office. It doesn't it's not equal, you see.
I was reading an article about Japan's highest suicide rate among men, and the reason was maybe too much workload or something.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Which one? What?
The workload in Japan, uh,
Hmm.
the suicide rate in men.
Ah, yes, 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 yes. There was this big, actually, big accident or big incident, I would say, and in the advertising agency that I think I mentioned before, the biggest was Dentsu, and the second was our Hakuhodo.
Yeah.
But the biggest Dentsu, the girl who was like 25, I think, very freshman girl, where she had to work so hard, she committed suicide in the end. And she was like, that was like um, 5 years ago, more or less. So she would have been. I think my daughter is 29, and I think the girl was like 31. She would have been 31 if she was alive. You see, so a very young girl committed suicide because of this hard work,
I see.
overwork.
I see.
And that was a very sensational news. And I think the parents, the mother, really sued the company and the big whole, because she was also a very pretty girl, and she was very she was also writing a lot of I think blog and things like that. Everybody knew all the stories that she was working, and still she couldn't nothing is finishing, and she was really sick mentally, I think. And from then, everybody, the whole government and the whole of Japan have changed, and that was right before Corona. but we already were quite we were starting to change the way of working. And then Corona uh, pandemic hit
Yeah.
us, and we have completely changed our way of working. And so I am very happy today
And how
to be
old
able to.
were you when you got married?
When I was 26 when I was married,
Okay, nice.
and I was 38 when I was divorced. And I joined this company when I was 39, you see? So it's almost like that. So
And when the parents die in Japan, do the children get their pension or no?
which pension? Which oh
Like if a
when
government official, like suppose, because my mother is a professor
uh-huh,
and
uh-huh,
she is retired now. She worked in education department of government, so she
mm-hmm,
receives pension.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
in Japan, when a person dies, for example, my mom, if for God forbid she dies, I won't
mm-hmm.
receive the pension of her.
Of course not. Children do not receive pensions, but I think after my father passed away, my mother received his pension. I mean, until she also passed away. So it was for forever. It
Okay.
was yeah, but that was that. I think that is because my dad was a diplomat. Was because my dad was working as in a government, and in that case, I think they have a very special pension. So my mother was quite lucky in terms of well, I wouldn't say lucky because to become a widow is not a very happy thing. She was still young when she became a widow. She was younger than I was today.
And she did not remarry?
No, she was like 56, I think, when she got a widow is right. Then since then she passed away at the age of 87. She was all alone, but she was receiving the pension until she died. So, and then from then on, I'm of course we are not going to receive anything from my mother. But if I retire, I think I'll be receiving a very tiny bit of pension, very low. I won't be able to. I won't be able to live with just with pension.
And when your mother was, uh, near her, like when she was on, maybe when she was sick, when she was like 87, who was with her to take?
I was with.
Only
I
you?
was with like I have two brothers,
Okay.
but one brother had a big fight with my mother, so
Mm-hmm.
they were, and the second brother was living away from in the province with his wife. So it was me who was living quite close to my mother, but actually she wasn't sick at all. She was very healthy until the last minute. And it was like 2 hours before 2 hours her death. I mean, 2 hours before she had this big stroke. I don't know if it's, I think it's something with the
Heart,
heart,
yeah.
not, but it was like stroke, like,
Mm-hmm.
and she passed, she like 2 hours before that happened, she was I talked to her and I said, oh, see you later, see you in 2 hours, I'll come in with, and please get my I wanted to handle her my dog,
Yeah,
one of the dogs,
yeah,
take care because I had to take the other one to the hospital.
yeah.
So I said, okay, see you in 2 hours, and I came back in 2 hours, and I pressed the I rang the bell, but she didn't answer, and I opened the door, and she was still alive, but she was unconscious, and I took her quickly to the I called the ambulance and quickly to the but she didn't make it. It
Uh-huh.
was really a sudden death, really.
I see, I see.
Tragedy, which was unbelievable, really.
This is something we all have to experience.
Mm, mm,
Sad
true.
reality. I have
One day.
Yeah, I have some other questions about, but maybe I will ask you next time.
Yes, next time. Yes, we're out of time already.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you so much for your time,
Thank
and
you.
I
Thank you very much.
appreciate.
It was nice talking to you. I hope I can see you again soon.
Sure.
Bye.
Sayonara. Sayonara.
Bye bye. See you. Bye.